Is this the end for this series? Is today going to be the day that we call it quits? It could very well be if we fall short here in the second round against the New York Islanders. However, we are the defending Stanley Cup champions. We won 57 games in the regular season, and in the last episode, we, of course, made it past the Buffalo Sabres in just 5 games, which was shocking to me. It's been shocking in general seeing this team continue to win in the postseason. And of course, you factor in certain players, dropping rather quickly in terms of overall. Evgeny Malkin's who we're talking about. You look at this team though, and it just works. It's just clicking. Now, I did leave the lineup the same. Of course, at the end of the last episode, I was talking about like, hey, here's the team. And of course, we could go back to the line combos that worked last year, especially because that third line wasn't working. I think we might try this again and just see what happens. Because again, last year it worked out so incredibly well for us, perhaps with the exception, of course, of the defense pairings being slightly different, but they were doing well enough that I don't really feel the need to make any changes. And then again, Yaroslav Askarov, not great in the first round, but we still made it past Buffalo. So things are looking pretty good. But indeed, today could be the final episode for this series, aside from an update on potential Channel Hall of Famers, which, for as up and down as this series has been in terms of, hey, we're competitive and we lost, and hey, we're still competitive and we lost, and we're still and we lost, and Ovechkin retired, we're screwed, and then of course we won the cup. For as up and down as this series has been, we're still in a really good spot. For, potential additions to the Channel Hall of Fame, we're still in a really good spot to potentially see those exact players in contention right now add to their legacy and becoming 2-time Stanley Cup champions. But again, standing in our way today, the New York Islanders. The Islanders. What will that particular team look like? The answer is this, and all right, we gotta hope that defense is weak, because that's gonna be a problem. Dmitry Alexeyev, 3 points in the first round, 11th overall pick in 2021. It is, of course, 2027 at this point. Matt Barzal is still there, and Lucas Raymond, who is a point a game, 2nd overall pick in 2020. Barzal, I would assume, fresh off of a brand new contract, and boy, is he getting paid. Second line is Anthony Beauvillier, who was great in the first round, Alexei Heponiemi, and Taylor Radish. So, damn, I wanted to see what they were getting paid. Radish, wow, okay. Well, good luck paying that line next year. Third line, Nick Ritchie, Nicholas Lundqvist, 6th overall pick last year, already in 84, Jesus, and Connor Sherry. Fourth line of Max Zimmer, Devin Shore, and Miles Wood. It's good. It's really good. That's not a surprise. The defense is also pretty good. Oh boy. Oh boy. This could be it. This could be it for us. This team makeup is a problem. Noah Hannafin, who took a lot of penalties in that first round, and Adam Fox, Bodie Wild alongside Charlie Leddy, and Jake Sanderson with Noah Dobson. So, obviously, since this game's come out, Adam Fox has been added in, from an EA roster update standpoint. But for us, he's still a created player, as is Leddy and as is Sanderson. And we know how created players tend to do in the sim. The goalie, okay. Here's where we should win. Eetu Makiniemi and Darcy Kemper. Makiniemi is their starter and was better than Askarov in the first round. But that's still an issue. We should win just off of the goaltending matchup alone. The rest of the grades are going to be fairly close, I would imagine. But I fully expect... Yeah, so they have the slight edge in offense. We're a +3 in defense, and we have a huge advantage in terms of goaltending. That's not surprising. But that huge advantage in goal should be enough, I'd like to think, to be the difference maker for us. Will it be? We don't know, because, again, Askarov didn't really show up in that first round, but we'll see how it goes. Let's get this series underway. Could be the final time that I say that for this Russian super squad, but we're going to see if they still have gas in the tank. Hopefully they do. Because why end a series on winning a Stanley Cup when you can go for the repeat? And yes, I know, if somehow, some way we win again, people are going to be like, you got to go for the three-peat now. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, okay? Okay. First period, game 1. Let's see how it goes. Oh my God. Goaltending? What is this goaltending of which you speak? Lucas Raymond gets the opening goal 29 seconds in. Medvedev scores. Michkov scores. Adam Fox ties it. 4 goals in 5 minutes between the two of us. But Vitaly Kravtsov, with 4:59 remaining in the first period, is able to regain the lead for us, which is nice. So both teams have blown a lead so far. That's great. Shots are about even. We're up by 1. Second period, of course. Of course, just a full defensive display. Why would it not be? We go to the third, 24 shots to 22. Very close game. Power play for the Islanders. That goes to waste. Power play for the Islanders. That goes to waste. Do we see a third one? Third power play for the Islanders, maybe? There's only 5 minutes left. We're still winning, knock on wood. I didn't say that, EA. I didn't say it. I don't want to jinx it. Wow, what are the odds of that? We put up like 3 shots in that third period. I'm not going to look because that freezing glitch might happen. And we won the game. So I'm not going to risk it. But 38 shots to 28. No goals outside of that first period. We hold on to win it. That is a bizarre game. But Askarov was fantastic, as we needed him to be, which is great news for us. Again, I'd love to look at the shots for that third period, but I really don't want to have the game potentially freeze as it's done before. The reunited second line was our weakest line in that game. Jesus. Kravtsov took 40 draws and only won 9 of them. He's not a natural center, of course. And I'm like, oh, it won't be that big of a factor. It's kind of a factor that he couldn't win draws. Askarov with a solid effort, though, and we win game 1, although now I'm actually having to think, let me check Vitaly Kravtsov's face-off percentage throughout the regular season, because, again, he is not a natural center. He's gotten slightly better in draws since he's been playing there for the past couple of seasons. But how has he done? So right here is where we made him a center. He's actually not bad. 40%? That's okay compared to the, 2%? It wasn't 2. I was going to say 12. As opposed to the very minimal effort. I mean, 40% isn't great on the draws, but for someone with a 68 rating, it's okay. We'll compare him to Barbashev. Actually, Barbashev only has a 79 in draws. Michkov has a 93. And he's, of course, been playing center for us now for the past couple of years. How has Michkov done? Oh, wow, okay. So, yeah, he's not bad. So here's the thing, right? A 15% difference, essentially, between a 93 and a 68 in that particular attribute. I mean, 15%, 12 to 13%, that is a drastic difference, drastic. But I don't think having Kravtsov at center is killing us, which is what I was concerned about. And it doesn't appear to be the case, so I'm going to leave it, and we're going to march on to the second game of this series. Not sure what Kaprizov's pissed off about, but that's fine. Just keep winning hockey games, my son. Keep winning for us. Anyway, we march onward. Game 2, first period. Let's go. Good God. What a start. 2 goals, including one on the power play for Evgeny Malkin. Barbashev gets the other one. That reunited second line was a lot better this time out. 3 goals on 9 shots. The Russians with a big-time lead early. Gino, the ageless wonder. Fantastic stuff. Second period, we shockingly don't blow it. Alex Volkov gets us a 4th goal, 19 shots to 17, and we are cruising right now. Volkov scores again on the power play. Why is Volkov on the Kravtsov on the power play too? But why? Why is Volkov on the power play? When did that happen? I feel like I've been paying attention. We have a power play chance go to waste. But, yeah, we're up 6-0. 6-0. That might end up being the final score. It did. Yaroslav Askarov with 5 straight shutout periods. He gets a 24-save shutout in Game 2, but the story of the day is that, indeed, our offense is ripping apart their subpar goaltending. Volkov was great. Malkin was phenomenal. And things are looking very good right now for the Russians as we continue to do extremely well on home ice. As no minus players is always a good sight. Askarov, again, great stuff. I'm tempted to go check the... Oh, that's why Volkov was on the power play. Andrei Svechnikov is out for about a week, a little bit under a week. He's going to miss the next 2 games, which is unfortunate, but not as devastating as it perhaps could have been. He should be back for Game 5 if it's necessary. Ilya Mikheyev is probably going to get an opportunity here. Defensively, he wasn't great, but offensively, he was fine. You could argue that somebody else, though, deserves that chance, and you wouldn't necessarily be wrong. Mikheyev is much better in a bottom 6 role. The question is, do we break up this line here, which hasn't exactly been firing on all cylinders like they have in the past, like last postseason, for example? I think we are going to bounce Mikheyev. The question is, who gets the bump up? And I feel like it's got to be Andrei Altai-Barmakian. It's got to be. If we're going to put someone of a, I don't want to say a similar skill set, because Svechnikov is phenomenal, but if we're going to play someone in the top 6, I'm not going to break up that third line. Altai-Barmakian is the man for the job. So we will simply go best lines down in the AHL. I don't even know if they're still in the playoffs. I don't think they are. And Andre, my friend, my buddy, my pal, will be getting a very interesting opportunity on a higher line, as we have to fix the 3-on-3 lines, which is great because for some reason those subs just don't go through, even though you tell it to sub out for, the same player. It's fine. Don't worry about it. That's just been a thing for years that I still don't understand why it works that way. Game 3. Us doing well on home ice isn't a surprise. I, unfortunately, though, will not be surprised if we are tied at 2 games apiece at the end of these next 2 games here on the island, the Barclay. I mean, in fairness, the Islanders are playing all their playoff games this year on Long Island, which is kind of cool. But again, at this point, you'll have their new arena built, which is pretty cool. First period, and another decent start for the Russians. Barbashev, that second line, even with Altai-Barmakian, doing very well. We were outshot, but we have the lead. Second period, goodness gracious. Etu Makiniemi's not having a very fun afternoon. Taylor Radish ties the game, and then the top line takes over. Tarasenko, Kravtsov, Kaprizov. Unbelievable, especially these 2 goals happening within 20 seconds of one another. 21 shots to 19, 4-1 on the board. Heading into the third period, the Islanders desperately need a strong effort here, but I don't know if they're going to find it. A power play already went to waste. They have another one, and Alex Volkov. Oh my God, Taylor Radish gets it right back, but we're up by 3. Power play of our own goes to waste. Alex Volkov is quietly making himself a superstar here. I don't know if it's going to be Channel Hall of Fame worthy as Heponiemi gets them back to within 2, but it is too little too late. 5-3 is your final. Alex Volkov, round of applause for you, sir, on a job well done. Shout out to the garbage truck that you might be able to hear in the background, or maybe in your part of town, it's a lorry. Who's to say? I don't know. I find, I find things to be, I don't know where I'm going with this. Anyway, Russia and this team that is doing very well, especially that top line. They had a very fun day. Matvei Michkov did not have a fun day, and that reunited third line in general. I mean, really, it was the bottom six that kind of got ripped apart there at the end. Askarov, not a great performance, unless your name's Carey Price, in which case it's like, well, the defense. Oh, God. All right, well, Kaprizov's going to miss the game 4 as well. That's fun. That's a fun time. That is a real fun time right there. Okay, Marchenko. Moroz, I feel like let's give Marchenko a chance. Kirill, you're on the way up. We're definitely going to change you from being a grinder. That is a necessity for us. I think you're just going to play on the top line. Probably. Maybe. Tough to say. Again, you're definitely not going to be a grinder. We'll change over to a playmaker, and that'll fix any chemistry issues there. I really don't have a good feeling about that third line, but I want to keep them as a thing just because, again, that's going to be the line that we rely on once everyone's healthy. So I think that's going to stay. Let's go change Kirill Marchenko back to a playmaker. Again, we tried him out as a grinder in the bottom 6 at one point, which that'll always be a debate. Some people will be like, isn't that cheating? And it's like, no, it's not. It might not work. It's not cheating. John Tortorella can tell the Sedins to block shots. He can change them from playmaker sniper to two-ways in real life. And yeah, it can fail miserably and he can get fired. But to my point, not cheating. Maybe a dumb move, like trying to have Marchenko play as a grinder. Potentially a dumb move. Not cheating. Not cheating. We'll see what the line chemistry ends up being, though, as we get ready for Game 4. A chance for a sweep is alive and well. Again, we're without 2 of our top players here, but we're looking okay, and it's now a +1. Is Marchenko good on the draw? Not really. Okay, then. We're fine. We're good. We're fine. Andre, how have you done in the postseason? Okay, or really, how'd you do in that game? You didn't do anything in the AHL playoffs. The team got smoked, but that's okay. We're gonna try a little bit of rehabilitation here for some of these players. Let's bump up Michkov. Let's bump up Kavanagh. Kavanagh is a terrible fit, though. Ooh, he just does not fit in on the top 6 at all. Okay, never mind. He's a much better fit elsewhere. And it's either going to be, let's go with Andre again. But I want to give Michkov a better spot. We're going to move Kravtsov over. And then on this third line, can anybody play center? Indeed, it's going to be Kavanagh. And we'll see how that works out for us. No real guarantees of success, but we'll see how it goes. I want to see if Michkov can step up his game playing with the higher level of competition. We are looking for the sweep. Wave goodbye to the garbage man and potentially wave goodbye to the New York Islanders. First period of Game 4, and the Islanders score first. The lone goal of the period, Max Zimmer. 11 shots to 4, but the Islanders are leading. That is not a very good sign for us at all. Second period, it got better, but it also got worse. Medvedev scores, but Wild and Leddy, 2 goals in a minute and 23 seconds, give the Islanders a 3-1 lead, but Kirill Marchenko does score. Now 22 shots to 15, but we are down 3-2. Heading into the third period of this potential elimination game without Kaprizov or Svechnikov, but we need a goal. Power play. We get said goal. Evgeny Malkin, power play for the Islanders. Successful kill. The next goal could either end this series or see it continue. Who's it going to be? Yegor Korshkov. Did Igor just win it for us? The Russians. The Russians. Who needs two of your top players? We certainly don't. Not at all. Two members of your top six go down to injury. It's all well and good. It's all well and good. Because the Russians have done it. We have successfully swept the New York Islanders despite an absolutely horrific game from Askarov, where apparently we didn't play with a goalie for 20 minutes. What? You're telling me we didn't have a goalie for 20 minutes? Oh boy. You know, just ignore it. Smile and wave, as they say. Smile and wave. It looks like we are due for a date with destiny against the Toronto Maple Leafs after Askarov didn't play for an entire third of the game, apparently. So far, things are looking good, though. Kravtsov's been great, but we only have one player who's above a point a game, which is surprising. Volkov, by the way. It is interesting. I mean, Kaprizov needs to be better. Michkov, Medvedov, Kavanov, we've had some disappointing players so far, but the players who are scoring. And our goaltending was a little bit better there. Our defense is still standing tall. There are some issues, though, that we might have to worry about. Apparently, Shesterkin, I guess, was given the win in that game, even though his stats didn't show up. That makes sense, obviously. But yeah, we still have some areas of concern, not just with certain players not being healthy right now, but just in general. There are some underperforming players. Some different line combinations might be the best way to go. Again, you have someone like Kavanov who's just been extremely disappointing. But the good news is, of course, with numerous days off, we're healthy, we're good to go, and in the next episode, we take on Toronto. 4 wins away from a chance at the repeat. Anything is possible, but again, we are still looking for this team, and that's the scary thing, for our opponents at least. We are still looking for this team to catch its stride and play to the best of their ability, which they haven't even done yet, and we're already past 2 different opponents. It's pretty ridiculous. I will see you guys in the next one. This series marches on for at least one more episode. Drop a like, of course, if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already as well. Check out everything in the description if you haven't already. Of course, the links to all the socials, the Twitters, the Instagrams, the Discords, Twitch, where we stream basically every single night. Of course, you can always catch the streams on VOD, the video on demand. Welcome to the future if you miss a stream as well. And shout out to my patrons over on Patreon. I love ya. I will see you all soon. Goodbye.